Hey MMA fans, Caged Minds, your host Michael Frankel, here to do some preview, prediction, and breakdown for UFC on FX4. We're going to start off with prelims. Let's do it. First one we're talking about, Ken Stone, 10-3, taking on Justin Pye, 11-6. Stone, more well known for being slammed by Eddie Wineland and the knockout punch from the guard that Scott Jorgensen delivered on him. He is coming off of a submission victory over Donnie Walker in his last UFC appearance. Justin Pye trying to pull a Chris Lieben. He's looking to win 2 fights in 3 weeks. Justin Pye, a former Ultimate Fighter alumni, lost at the Ultimate Fighter finale to John Albert. Since then, beat Jared Papazian, and now looks on the short notice to come back in against Stone. He has a 3.5-inch reach advantage, giving him the striking advantage. Slightly, I believe that he has also the grappling advantage, has an experience advantage. I think that his striking is where this starts off. He hurts Stone, gets it to the ground, finishes off Stone with a rear naked choke in the first round. Move on. Next matchup we're talking about. Dan Miller, 13-6 with 1 no contest, taking on Ricardo Funches, 8-3. Dan Miller dropping down from middleweight to welterweight. We saw his striking improving against Husamar Palhares. Ricardo Funch against Mike Pyle. We saw his striking exposed. I believe that's where this fight goes to because they both have good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Miller probably the little better wrestling, but I don't think they play around on the floor. I think it's primarily striking. It's going to be a TKO, maybe finished off with the ground and pound. Dan Miller winning this fight, TKO 3rd round. Next fight we're talking about, matchup, however you want to put it. Matt the Immortal Brown, 16-11, taking on Luis Ramos, 19-7. Brown does lose by the submission. Ramos has 4 victories from the submission, but with a 2-inch reach advantage, a 4-inch height advantage, and on a roll, winning 2 consecutive fights, I think Matt Brown keeps the pressure on, beats up Ramos, gets a TKO. We're going to go late also. Late 2nd round, 3rd round. Ramos has lost twice by the TKO. Brown won 7 times by the TKO. If not, we still go to a decision. I believe Matt Brown has it. Ramos has been fighting off too many injuries. Brown is the stronger looking fighter right now. Talking about coming off of injuries, Nicotone has missed a year. He's 9-2. Coming back now after that year layoff, he's taking on Chris Camozzi, who's 16-5. This fight all lays in that Catone has the ability, I think, to get Camozzi to the floor. He will be in top. He'll be able to work his ground and pound and win this fight with a decision. Camozzi has a 3.5-inch reach advantage, but he doesn't strike as well, doesn't use it good enough. He's going to be forced on his back like Francis Carmont did, and we will see Nicotone win a decision. Still going on the prelims. Next one we're talking about, Steven Siler, 20-9, taking on Joey Gambino, who's 9-0. Siler, devastating from the clinch with the knees and the elbows, show good pop in his punches. Nick Denise understands that now. His left and his right are deadly. Joey Gambino is making his debut. Most of his victories from submissions. A solid wrestling game. I think that he's going to get into the clinch, find a knee and an elbow, possibly get hurt. If not, if he's able to get this fight to the ground, I think Siler has the superior jiu-jitsu and can win this fight with a triangle or an armbar fighting off of his back. But he'll probably end up hurting Gambino in the clinch, knee or elbow, and then going for a submission finish. So we're taking Siler with a submission. I'm going to go in the 2nd round. Next matchup we're talking about, Rick the Horror Story, 13-5, taking on Brock Jardine, 9-1. Story, relentless, presses forward. He's lost 2 consecutive fights in the UFC. His back is against the wall. He's fighting for his job. With that in vigor and motivation, I think he's going to step up to that level he's looking to achieve and be a better fighter this time out. Brock Jardine has the potential to win this fight if he's able to get the decision, if he's able to outpoint Story. But Story I see being the bigger, stronger fighter, and I think he wins this one with his back up against the wall. It'll be an inspired effort from Story to win this one by the decision. Next matchup we're talking about, Ramsey Nijem, 6-2 versus CJ Keith. Again, Nijem comes into this fight having a grappling advantage. Keith is a little longer, a little taller, but the grappling advantage that Nijem has, he will expose it, he will get on top, he'll beat him up, and we'll see a repeat of the Danny Downs fight where Nijem is controlling. He can win this fight in a plethora of ways, but seeing that Keith hasn't been defeated, we've yet to recognize a weakness. I'm going to go with a decision for Ramsey Nijem. Now we move up to the main event of the prelim card, a fight that probably should be on the main card actually. Hatsu Hioki, 26-4, taking on Ricardo Lamas, 11-2. Hioki, we've seen his stand-up be very good in Shuto against Marlon Sandro, keeping the fight standing, was able to win that way. Hioki, though, showing some self-confidence issues, I believe, not wanting to take a world title match, not believing he's that upper echelon, as a lot of people believe that he's top 3 in the world. Aoki wins this fight with the decision. Aoki loses this fight with the decision. He can outposition and use his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He can win a decision on Ricardo Lamas. If not, Lamas will be stronger, the better wrestler, and will take the top position away. But I think Hioki is destined to be a title contender in the UFC, and he will win this fight. Again, going with a decision, unanimous decision. Hatsu Hioki, his limbs, his sweeps, I think he'll have the more technical grappling aspects, and he'll be able to pull out the positional control on Lamas. Moving on to that main card now. We got Ross the Real Deal Pearson, 15-5, taking on 16-5 Cub Swanson. Ross Pearson, Ultimate Fighter winner, loads up on his punches, good boxing. Starting to use more kicks. His takedown defense has improved since being with the Alliance team. Cub Swanson, a member of the Jackson team, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, can get a little cocky. His loss, though, to Ricardo Lamas has reset him straight in his mind. A knockout of George Roop, and he looks to be back on pace. I believe that this fight is whoever's accurate, whoever's more faster, whoever it lands, gets in and out without taking the damage, and I believe that's going to be Cub Swanson winning this fight with a split decision. We're going with Cub Swanson to be a featherweight contender. Next matchup we're talking about, Brian Ember Saw, 49-14-1 with 1 no contest. A 10-fight winning streak coming into this bout. He's taking on TJ Wahlburger, who's 15-6. Ember Saw, out of his 14 losses, has 9 losses via the submission, but he's on a 10-fight win streak, so he hasn't been submitted in a long time. Wahlburger, 12 submission victories. He has to go for the submission to be able to win this fight. On the minus for Wahlburger, 5 of his 6 defeats come from the TKO. I believe the elbows and the top control of Brian Ember Saw will come into play. I'm going to look for this one to be a second round TKO. I think Ember Saw lays the elbows in, cuts up Wahlburger. Too much pressure. Too much unorthodox on the feet, keeping Wahlburger off balance. Brian Ember Saw will get this win with the stoppage, a TKO fashion. Now we go to the co-main event of the event. 18-7-1, Sam Hands of Stone Stout, taking on 25-8, Spencer the King Fisher. This is the third part of their trilogy, looking to put this one to rest. Stout is slightly younger, slightly taller, slight reach advantage, 2 inches and all of those. Stout, spectacular TKO of Eve Edwards, but that doesn't come out from him all the time. I believe this fight, you look at Fisher, Fisher's older. Fisher has been through some great wars, and it really comes to, I think there's more punches left that Stout's able to take. Sam Stout can win this with the TKO. Fisher has lost fights from the TKO or the decision. 5 losses for Fisher for the decision. I hope his fight goes to a decision. I want to see them striking for 3 rounds. Sam Stout, though, younger, faster, longer. I take him to win a 3-round unanimous decision. And now we go to the main event. Gray the Bully Maynard, 11-1-1 with 1 no contest, taking on Clay Carpenter Guida, who is 29-9. Maynard has the punching power, probably the stronger fighter, and it really is a big question to see if Clay Guida can get Gray Maynard on his back. Gray Maynard, though, probably could get Guida on the ground, but if they start getting in a scramble or a transition, I think Guida's the faster person. He's going to push the pace. He's going to be more exciting. This is a very close decision for me because I believe that Maynard may affect with his punches more Guida, and you'll see that. He'll be hurting Guida, and he probably wins this fight with the decision. 8 of his 10 victories from the decision. Guida has 9 victories in the decision, 15 of the submission. If there's a finish, it'll be a submission. It'll be Guida submitting Maynard. Guida has never been TKO'd. Maynard does have 2 TKO victories. I believe Maynard, though, just stronger, better with his boxing, and more effective with powerful strikes, wins this fight in a close decision, but we're going unanimous. If not, Guida pulls off the upset, being faster, having that bigger gas tank, and just outworking Maynard for the split decision. But we're going with Maynard for the unanimous, pulling for Guida, though. This has been Caged Minds. Hope you like the previews, the prediction, little breakdown that we did. Subscribe to the videos, hit the like button, leave us a comment, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. Uncage the War within yourself. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, good day, good time, wherever you are.